Hey everyone, welcome back to Zero to Exit. Have you ever wondered about all the different ways people make money and thought, which ones actually work, which ones help build real wealth, and which are just traps? Well, today we're going beyond theories. We're sifting through the noise and ranking every major business model you can imagine. That's right, from total time wasters that will drain both your energy and savings, to the empire-building strategies that can rake in millions. We'll be evaluating each model based on 4 key factors. Startup costs, because not everyone has a big pile of cash to begin with. Profit margin, this tells you how much of that revenue you'll actually keep. Time to profitability, how long will it take before you see real returns? Success rate, what are your chances of actually succeeding? And of course, we'll give you our no-nonsense, honest opinion. We'll start from the bottom with the F tier, those models that are basically a waste of your valuable time and money, and work our way up to the S tier, where the real money-making magic happens. So let's dive right into the F tier. These business models are, quite frankly, almost guaranteed to lead you to disappointment. Think about it. If you join an MLM, recruit 5 people, each of whom brings in 5 more, and this pattern continues. You'd run out of people on Earth in about 13 levels if just 100 followed this model. It's simply not sustainable. Let's break down the numbers. Startup cost typically ranges from around $100 to $5,000 US. You usually have to buy a starter kit or inventory tied to whatever that MLM is selling. Profit margin, most times it's nearly 0%. Why? Because most people not only fail to make a profit, they end up losing money with unsold inventory. Success rate, according to the Federal Trade Commission, less than 1% of MLM participants actually succeed. So, MLMs land squarely in the F tier. They're a classic trap for aspiring entrepreneurs. Avoid them like the plague if you're serious about achieving financial independence. Next up in the F tier, which might sting a bit, life coaches without real proven experience. Just scroll through Instagram and search for life coach. You'll find millions of posts, right? But take a closer look. Often, there are no real qualifications, no proven outcomes, and no tangible case studies. Just folks dishing out generic advice and packaging it as a business. The model is deceptively straightforward. They charge hourly rates based solely on their personal brand. But if you lack a brand, you lack a business. Let's go over the numbers. Startup cost, a few thousand rupees for a basic website and a logo, a few $100s. Profit margin, it can technically be over 90% since your main cost is your time on a call. Time to profit, potentially between 1 to 6 months if you can manage to generate leads. However, here's the hard truth. The success rate is under 5%. Why? Because many believe that simply taking a course on becoming a life coach qualifies them. It's a strange loop. Many thrive by teaching others to become life coaches rather than actually coaching for real-life success. There's a huge difference between someone who has coached under pressure, built real businesses, and spoken on important stages, versus someone with just a motivational caption and a ring light. If you seek genuine coaching, look for undeniable results. Don't waste your time with this F-tier model. First up, restaurants. The dream of owning your own cafe or eatery. But here's the reality. Restaurants rely on sales transactions. You're in a constant cycle of exchanging time, costly ingredients, and staff labor just to fill one order. It's labor-intensive, inventory-heavy, and highly dependent on location. If you don't have consistently high volume, every restaurant loses money until it eventually shuts down. The numbers speak for themselves. Startup costs, from around $100,000 to $500,000 US. Getting started is brutally expensive. You'll face sky-high rent in a good location, which is crucial, plus kitchen setup, equipment, staffing, and raw materials. The list goes on. Profit margin, you're looking at just 3% to 10%. That's really low for all the effort involved. Time to profit, it can take 2 to 3 years before you see profits flowing in. This explains why more than half of all restaurants fail within 2 to 3 years, and about 80% close their doors by the 5-year mark. For a restaurant to genuinely thrive, You either need an exceptional location or a fiercely loyal customer base. Both are terribly hard to find and maintain, which secures a spot for restaurants in the D tier. Next, still in the D tier, we have traditional retail stores. Think of a souvenir shop at your local mall or any physical storefront. The concept is simple. Buy in bulk, sell in person, and hope customers walk through your door. But you're stuck managing inventory, paying hefty rent, and locked into one physical location. Startup costs range from $50,000 to $250,000 US. Average margin, a modest 5% to 20%. Time to profit. Honestly, it's hard to say. It's a mystery how some of these stores even survive, especially with relentless competition from online giants. Almost every major retailer is either closing physical locations or pivoting to online sales. Success rate. You're trying to compete against same-day delivery and constant online discounts. Good luck with that. D tier for sure. To round out our D tier, we have small-scale manufacturing, like anything handmade. This includes custom furniture, artisanal food products, or in-house clothing production. Anything where you're making the product yourself instead of drop shipping it. 1. Own a hyper-niche market. Be the only one making that incredibly specific item that people seek out. 2. Create something that's literally the best in the world. Think handmade Japanese chef knives, crafted over weeks, for which chefs happily wait months and pay thousands up front. These scenarios are quite rare, keeping small-scale manufacturing in our D tier. Now, the C tier. These models often heavily on fleeting trends or operate on such thin margins that building wealth is challenged. Starting with a popular side hustle, drop shipping. The reason we're placing drop shipping here instead of D tier is that, unlike small-scale manufacturing where you need actual production skills, drop shipping requires minimal product creation know-how. Here's how it works. You list products online, often from manufacturers abroad, and when someone makes a purchase, the supplier ships it directly to your customer. You never touch the inventory. Your primary focus? Ads. Lots and lots of ads. Let's check the figures. Startup cost, $500 to $5,000 US, with most of that going toward advertising. Average margin, a meager 5% to 10. Unless you manage to go viral on TikTok with a single product, where you might briefly hit 30%. While drop shipping might sound like an easy money-making opportunity, it can be if you excel at running ads and finding a unique product market fit. But if you have those skills, there are definitely better, more sustainable models available. Hence C tier. Quick look at the numbers. Startup cost, almost negligible, aside from whatever software you need to create your designs. With a more innovative project, it could take longer to gain traction. Success rate. Similar to audience-based digital products, the success here hinges on solutions value and how well it's marketed. If you create something that really meets a need, you're likely to find success. Now, moving into the S tier, we enter the realm of top-tier business models with immense potential and attractive margins. These require not only expertise and capital, but also a strong grasp of market dynamics. First up is e-commerce and private labeling. This model allows you to source products, add your branding, and sell directly to consumers. It involves handling everything from inventory to fulfillment, but it also means you have full control over your brand. Startup costs. This can vary significantly, but you might be looking at anywhere from $3,000 to millions of dollars, depending on your product range and marketing strategy. Margins, typically, these can be quite high, often between 20% and 50%, especially if you can create a loyal customer base. Time to profit. With the right strategy, you might see profits in less than a year, but building a recognizable brand will take time. Success rate. While competitive, those who manage to carve out a unique niche and effectively market their products often find themselves in a lucrative position. Another standout in the S tier is subscription services. This model revolves around providing ongoing value to customers in exchange for regular payments. Think of things like meal kits, subscription boxes, or software services. Startup costs. Depending on the type of service you choose, initial investments can range from $2,000 to $12,000 US, particularly if you're providing tangible products. Margins. You can enjoy solid margins, often between 30% and 80%, with a caveat that the initial acquisition cost can be substantial. Time to profit. Again, this can be variable, but with a compelling offering, 6 months to a year is a typical time frame. Success rate. Subscriptions can have high retention rates if you fulfill your value promise, making this model pretty sustainable. In summary, if you're serious about starting a lucrative business, the A-tier and S-tier models offer some of the best paths forward. They require dedication, strategic planning, and often some financial investment up front. But the potential rewards can be substantial for those willing to put in the effort. What are your thoughts? Did we overlook any important business models? Or do you have a different take on our rankings? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. If this exploration of wealth building strategies has inspired you to reconsider your next steps towards financial independence, be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Zero to Exit, and tap that notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive into creating real wealth. In the meantime, keep learning and growing, and I'll catch you on the journey to financial freedom.